interested in moving, and we want you to know we put a special package together just for you. What I want you to do is go to revivaltoday.com/moving. Fill out that form, and then once we get that form, we'll send you a special package that's full of resources to help you get to know Pittsburgh. We're so excited. We know you are so excited, and we can't wait to see you at Revival Today Church.
Welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as Adalis and I are here to announce our next big move, biggest move we've ever made for Revival Today. Behind me is a building that will look nothing like it looks right now when we finish. We're on just under 5 acres of property that we've just finished purchasing, which is going to give us the ability to have a state-of-the-art studio. And in that studio, something I've wanted to have for a long time, which is a live studio audience. It's going to be a 500-seat building when we finish with it that'll give us the ability to touch the world with our broadcasts. This facility is going to give me the ability to do what I've really missed, which is having you in the audience to minister to personally. Obviously, you can't beat the reach of digital media. We touch the whole world every day, but we have the ability now with this to lay hands on people, pray for people that are sick, a place where you can bring people that are drug addicted, demonized, and really give them the ministry that you can't get on YouTube and Facebook. I can't wait. And then beyond that, we're going to announce the launch of Revival Today Church. We're going to hold Holy Ghost church services every Sunday morning. I'll be there most Sunday mornings. This isn't going to be like some little side project. We're going to give you and your family a place you can go that's a soul-winning church that values the presence of God, where you can get prayed for and ministered to, where there's not a critical race theory lecture or a mask and social distancing 10 minutes of no talking to anybody in the lobby. None of that. We're going to have a place where you're free and where you're free to experience the presence of God.
I'm incredibly excited because I know a lot of you have been asking about different meetings and events that we couldn't have during COVID, and trust me, we tried so hard. So this really frees us up to do everything that we want to do with healing meetings and women's conferences. So I am so looking forward to seeing you and having you be a part of this.
So I want to give you a twofold call to action. Number one, if your church turned in to a liberal nightmare in 2020 and you need a place to go, I would be happy to have you at our church. Number two, if you are a partner or a friend of our ministry, Revival Today, this is the biggest move by far we've ever made. By the time we finish remodeling that building, the acquiring of the property, you're looking at a couple of M's. So if you would stand with us now, I'll say thank you ahead of time. Pray and ask the Holy Ghost what He would have you to do. You've been so generous, and I thank you ahead of time for your extreme generosity. I know I speak on behalf of my wife, everybody here at Revival Today, when I say we love you very much. And now I can say I look forward to seeing you face to face here at the new home of Revival Today.
Hey.
We need more of that. Let them feel it today.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Check the Market. Brand new week. Brand new money to be made. Joshua, good morning. Kenny, Patrick, Lyric. Welcome to Check the Market. Sandra, good morning. Is it safe to log in with your bank in the Coinbase app? Yes, it is. Yeah, I wouldn't. As long as you know that your computer doesn't have anything on it. Make sure that you check your computer every now and then. It's good to have good cybersecurity when it comes to don't make sure that your password isn't your wife's name and her birthday or something like that. Good morning, D&D Investments from Portland, Oregon. Welcome from the West Coast. Thanks for tuning in. Got a brand new show today. Ricky from Spring, Texas. Good morning to you. How was everybody's weekend? Anybody do some crypto trading? I had, in my Qcoin account, I had a couple of dollars in Tether just laying around, and I figured out that on Qcoin you can lend out your money. So annually it'll be around 30% return for lending it out. It's here, let me actually look it up, what it is per day. Right now it's 0.094% per day for the day rate, so 34% per year, which is pretty good. So that's what I did. So if you just have Tether sitting around in your, cryptocurrency account, it probably has to be something like Binance or Qcoin. I don't think they don't allow that on Coinbase. But if you have that, you have it laying around, might as well make a couple of dollars off of it. So I lent it out. Good morning, Cami, David. Netflix earnings tomorrow. Earnings for banks have been great. It actually calmed the market down a little bit. Fall weather in Texas. They have fall in Texas. We're more up north though. Cold in Georgia. It's cold in Georgia, my goodness. I think I'm going to move this show to Panama, something that's closer to like the equator, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's do it. Awesome, well, let's get into it this morning. Ranchers launch effort to build their own meat plants to fight against low beef prices. Crews will start work this fall building.
We need more of that. Let him feel it
Did
today.
you get stuck or what? That was a fail. Good morning, Scott. 40 degrees in Georgia. Ugh. Yeah, 4.5% interest on Coinbase. I'm getting 4% on Cardano, I think it is. No. One of them I staked on Coinbase. I'm getting 4% for it. What do you think about the Exodus wallet for crypto? I haven't looked into the Exodus wallet. I don't use that one. But I have heard about it, so it is mainstream. Because there are a couple that are going around that I wouldn't put any money in. The learn and earn on Coinbase is pretty interesting because they give you rewards for it. I bought some Shiba Inu on Coinbase. All right, meatpacking industry. What's going on? Farmers. Ranchers launched their effort to build their own meat plants. So this is good news. Let's see the article. Like other ranchers across the country, Rusty Kemp for years grumbled about rock-bottom prices paid for the cattle he raised in central Nebraska, even as the cost of beef at grocery stores kept climbing. He and his neighbors blamed it on consolidation, the beef industry stretching back to the 70s, that resulted in 4 companies slaughtering over 80% of the nation's cattle, giving the processors more power to set prices while ranchers struggled to make a living. Federal data showed that for every dollar spent on food, the share that went to ranchers and farmers dropped from 35 cents in the 70s to 14 cents recently. It led Kemp to launch an audacious plan, raise more than $300 million from ranchers to build a plant themselves, putting their future in their own hands. I think this is great. We've been complaining about it for 30 years. It's probably time somebody does something about it. Continue. Crews will start work this fall building the sustainable beef plant on nearly 400 acres near North Platte, Nebraska. And other groups are making similar surprising moves in Iowa, Idaho, and Wisconsin. The enterprises will test whether it's really possible to compete financially against an industry trend that has swept through American agriculture and that played a role in meat shortages during the coronavirus pandemic. The move is well-timed as the U.S. Department of Agriculture is now taking a number of steps to encourage a more diverse supply in the beef industry. The Biden administration last month said it was concerned that the meatpacking industry was pandemic profiteering, announcing that the USDA will invest $1.4 billion in assistance to food processors harmed during the pandemic. Don't take the money. According to Texas Agricultural Commissioner Sid Miller, pushing back against the big processors is the right move for ranchers and would benefit both ranchers and consumers. Continue. When you think about it, all beef is... That is true. If Eric makes a good point there. If you really think about it, all beef is plant-based. That is true. Never thought of it like that. Ranchers have been getting screwed long enough. It's time we fight back. So they're fighting back, building their own meat processing plants. I think that's a good move by the ranchers. And as long as they're not going to be pandemic profiteering like the other companies. Continue. We can go to the next article. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, Square plans to build open source Bitcoin mining system. Let's see it. Twitter and Square CEO Jack Dorsey says that the fintech firm, also our resident hippie, do you guys have a picture of him? Says that the fintech firm is looking to build a Bitcoin mining system based on custom silicon and open source for individuals as well as businesses. In a series of tweets, Dorsey explained why there was a need for an open source Bitcoin mining system and why he wants to allow a collaborative approach to further decentralize Bitcoin mining. In the tweet, he says Square is considering building a Bitcoin mining system based on custom silicon and an open source for individuals and businesses worldwide. The more decentralized this is, the more resilient the Bitcoin network becomes. This will help strengthen Square's existing Bitcoin-focused projects, including a business building an open developer platform and a hardware wallet for the cryptocurrency. Continue. According to the report, a team led by Square's hardware lead Jesse Dorogusker will investigate requisites for Square to take on the project to build a Bitcoin mining system. He says Square's system aims to deliver energy-efficient mining solutions through silicon, software, and integration innovation. However, silicon or chip design is too concentrated in a few companies, leading to supply constraints. According to Dorsey, the company will build the mining system following a similar collaborative approach to develop its assisted custody Bitcoin hardware wallet. So Dorsey is, there he is, our resident hippie. I wonder how many organisms are living in that beard currently. Love the nose ring, bro.
Hi there, non-binary dad.
Keep going. There he just looks like a hipster. Less like a CEO, more like a hipster. And what's the guy's name? Luke Skywalker. Not Luke Skywalker, the other one. Is that him? From Star Wars? Mark Hamill, yes. Continue. Good morning, Gerald. Dorsey says mining isn't accessible to everyone. Bitcoin mining should be as easy as plugging a rig into a power source, but there isn't enough incentive today for individuals to overcome the complexity of running a miner for themselves. In June, Square invested $5 million to build a 100% solar-powered Bitcoin mine and the Bitcoin infrastructure startup Blockstream. All right, next article. Can't lose the nose, right? Elon Musk on valuations of Tesla rivals Lucid and Rivian says these are strange days. I thought this was interesting, so I'm going to share it with you. See it? Tesla CEO Elon Musk on Thursday took a shot at the valuations of rivals Rivian and Lucid. What happened? Musk was responding to a tweet that compared the delivery numbers and valuations of Tesla that it went public to those of the two rivals. So these are strange days. Is it possible to start an EV company without shipping any cars and get a valuation less than $1 billion? Continue. Lucid is a pre-production electric vehicle maker that went public in July in a SPAC with Churchill Capital Corp at a valuation of $33 billion. Rivian, which is backed by Amazon and Ford Motor Company, is said to be eyeing raising $80 billion in the IPO. The electric vehicle startup in September started rolling out its highly anticipated R1T plug-in pickup. Tesla had delivered 1,400 electric cars when it went public in June 2010 at a valuation of $1.7 billion. Tesla's current market cap is around $803 billion. Musk said these are strange days as companies that have not shipped any cars are able to secure valuations in billions of dollars. This is not the first time Musk had made a comment on Rivian's expected valuation. In August, Musk said Rivian should have delivered at least one vehicle per billion of its valuation before IPO. That means 80 vehicles. Continue. There it is. Rivian Automotive has filed for an initial public offering and is seeking a roughly $80 billion valuation. The company would like to do an IPO around the November 25th Thanksgiving holiday. Let me take a look at something here real quick. Because even though I'm interested in this company, in Rivian, because I think they're doing a great job, let me take a look at Ford here. So Ford's market cap is $62 billion. So Rivian is looking to be valued $18 billion higher than Ford Motor Company. That is a little ridiculous. Don't want to be unreasonable, Musk tweeted, but maybe they should be required to deliver at least one vehicle per $1 billion of valuation before the IPO. Next. HomeGoods offering online shopping. Could it boost TJX shares? Question mark. Continue. A leading home decor and furnishing retailer is upping its game with the rollout of online shopping. Could it boost revenue and share price? HomeGoods, a store brand owned by TJX Companies, is a leader and well-known brand in the home decor and furnishing space. The retail brand ended the second quarter with 846 stores. Customers who do not live near a HomeGoods or regularly frequent the stores now have the opportunity to shop online. HomeGoods launched its online store in late September, a move that generated positive media coverage from outlets like Today.com and USA Today. We are thrilled to bring a second way for our passionate shoppers to discover and shop an assortment they know and love. Continue. HomeGoods will allow the company's other brands, Marshalls and TJ Maxx, which launched online stores in 2019 and 2013 respectively. The company said the website for HomeGoods would have over 2,000 items for sale and will be updated frequently with new finds. The press coverage of HomeGoods likely brought good brand awareness to the retailer. Google searches for HomeGoods are elevated for this time of the year compared to the past several years. TJX Companies is one of several retailers that rebounded from sales declines seen during the pandemic. The company has beat consensus revenue targets for the first and second quarters of the current fiscal year by 17% and 10% respectively. Pretty good, trading at $63 a share off their 52-week high of $76. Could TJX be a good buy? Possibly. I'm going to look into it. And they have a dividend of 1.62%, so not too bad. Next. Why Tether and Bitfinex were hit with CFTC fines totaling $42.5 million. So Tether got fined. Let's see the article. The CFTC hit crypto exchange Bitfinex and Tether, the firm behind the stablecoin Tether, for violations of the Commodity Exchange Act. According to Friday's CFTC press release, the regulator found that Tether backed its stablecoin only for 27.6% of the time during this 26-month period under review between 2016 and 2018. Tether is required to pay a civil monetary penalty of $41 million and cease and desist from any further violations of CFTC regulations. We'll see what they do. Continue. Jim Cramer digs into banks' earnings, says this stock still has some issues. Let's see it. See what Jim Cramer has to say. Usually I do the opposite of what he says. Jim Cramer said the upbeat third quarter earnings released last week from big banks have changed the tone of the stock market, which has recently seen some sharp volatility. Although Citigroup's numbers came in better than expected, the quarter still had some issues. While the bank didn't make much progress last quarter, there were no real setbacks either. Cramer pointed out that Goldman Sachs had an incredible earnings beat. Reported a blowout quarter on Friday with earnings and sales coming in much better than expected. The bank's stock also jumped around 4% following the results. Even if the bank doesn't make a single penny in the current quarter, this would still be its best year on record. Incredible. Shares of Citigroup gained 2.1% to close at $72.29, and Goldman's stock rose 3.8% to settle at $72. Nope, that's incorrect. $412 is where we're at right now. $412 per share for Goldman Sachs. Continue. Greater demand for cybersecurity, including identity and access management software solutions, could be boosting these stocks. So here's a couple of stocks. This was on Benzinga that I found, so I'll give you the list here. Let's see the article. As the world becomes increasingly digitized, cybersecurity threats simultaneously mount. As more organizations search for effective ways to protect sensitive information, leaders are increasingly turning to cybersecurity companies. Cybersecurity companies offer services and solutions to combat threats and safeguard private data and networks. The increase in demand for cybersecurity companies has had an advantageous effect on cybersecurity stocks, particularly for those that offer identity and access management solutions and related software as a service offering. Continue. Projected annual growth rate of 22% to $16 billion by 2027. So from $3.34 billion. Continue. Let's get to the stocks. And one more. Oh, go back. They were right there. Sorry about that. I didn't see them. So here are the biggest names in identity and access management. ForgeRock, OKTA, SailPoint Technologies, SAIL, which I think we've had on our list to research before, CyberArk, and Ping Identity Holdings. Continue. Let's see. Continue one more. So SailPoint is SAIL. Is there one that has the ticker symbols, Brendan, in there? And it's actually off its 52-week high of 64 too, SailPoint. I think that one has been on our stocks to research before. Cybersecurity is a huge market, and there's some good investments, including Palantir. Palantir's in that space too. PLTR, which is also a favorite of our Wall Street Bets crowd. If not, we can just move on. Palantir trading at 24 right now. There we go. FORG, OKTA, SA, SailPoint. So ForgeRock, FORG. Okta or OKTA. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. OKTA for the ticker symbol. SailPoint Technologies, SAIL. CyberArk, CYBR. And Ping Identity Holding, just Ping. If you want to mark those down, take a look at them, see if those are any that you're interested in for cybersecurity. A lot of those are trading off their highs earlier this year, or when was that, August or July? They were at their highs. So a lot of those are trading off their highs, so you can take a look at them. Continue. US Bitcoin futures ETF slated to list Monday. The first Bitcoin futures ETF. Let's see what the cryptocurrency markets are doing right now. Since we're on the subject, Bitcoin 61,347, Ethereum 3,700, XRP 109, Dogecoin 25 cents. Not too shabby. Cardano 214. Let's see it. The ProShares Bitcoin futures-based exchange-traded fund is slated to list Monday pending no last-minute regulatory interference. The firm filed a post-effective amended prospectus today stating its intention to launch on October 18th. It will list under the ticker symbol BITO. Let's see if it's listed. Probably not until this afternoon at some point. Yeah, you can't. It's not listed yet. But I can pull it up on TD Ameritrade. So BITO, there will likely be no formal green light from the Securities and Exchange Commission. In the case, such registrations once 75 days lapses from the initial filing with no dissent from the SEC, a product is clear to list. ProShares' most recent filing indicates it'll list on a New York Stock Exchange ARCA this Monday. It'll be the first crypto futures-based product to list on a U.S. exchange. Though it does not provide a vehicle to directly invest in the Bitcoin spot market, it'll be the most direct exposure available to investors in the form of an ETF. So that's good news for Bitcoin. One of the reasons they say why it's trading up, or why it has been trading up over the last couple of days. Next. Good news for Bitcoin. Fortinet, that's right. Fortinet is a good one too for cybersecurity. We can go to the next article. Saks Fifth Avenue e-commerce unit aims for IPO at $6 billion valuation. See it? The e-commerce business of luxury department store Saks Fifth Avenue is preparing for initial public offering and targeting a $6 billion valuation. The Wall Street Journal reported Sunday, citing sources. The company is interviewing potential underwriters this week for an IPO that could take place in the first half of next year. Saks says it does not comment on rumors or speculation in a statement to Reuters. Earlier this year, Hudson Bay Company, the owner of Saks Fifth Avenue, launched the luxury department store's e-commerce segment as a separate business following investment from U.S. private equity firm Insight Partners in the online business. The deal valued the Saks e-commerce business, called Saks, at $2 billion. So now they're trying to get $8 billion. I think that when it comes to these IPOs, they just throw numbers out there and see what sticks. So if I were to go to public right now with Check the Market, I would say it would be at least $180 billion market valuation. And then if I get $1 billion, I'll be happy to. Continue. Inflation is here. It's ugly, it stings, but it could make you money. How can it make you money? Let's see. I know this is a long article. So he goes on about how he was in the grocery store and everything's expensive, and he was mad and sad, and then going into a whole gas prices are $4 a gallon along the West Coast. Even more sad. So what's the play for investors in a world where inflation isn't going anywhere anytime soon? Well, it could be multifaceted depending on your level of investing expertise. Here's what several market veterans told me on how to invest amid pesky inflation. Now go forth and slay the inflationary beast coming to your portfolio, maybe for yours. As for me, I'm off to find a cheaper cut of steak. I wouldn't do that. Open a crypto trading account, yes. That, yes. But a cheaper cut of steak, don't do that. It's not going to be as good. Continue. Bank earnings. Speaking of things rising in price, bank stocks have been on fire into earnings this week from JP Morgan, Bank of America, and so on and so forth. There were a bunch of banks that, let's see here today, earnings. State Street, they had an earnings beat. There are a whole bunch more this afternoon, so we'll see. Banks are just beating earnings left and right. Middlefield Bank had a 35% earnings beat, 32%. So banks might be a good one. Since the Fed's last policy decision on September 22nd, where it signaled a bond tapering plan was nearing, KBW Bank Index has added 6.5%. I would say the backdrop for bank stocks is ripe for a sell. The news event, bank profit margins could disappoint elevated expectations due to rising costs for talents, among other inflationary expense lines. A couple items to be on the lookout for in these reports. Trading revenue, which is huge. I believe it was Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs. They had huge amounts of trading revenue. Debit and credit card spending by customers inside a slowing growth environment. Hints of a new year-end expense-cutting programs. So those are things to keep a lookout for when it comes to bank earnings. Continue. Hasbro. I send my best wishes to Hasbro CEO Brian Goldner. Yesterday, its longtime CEO. What does this have to do with anything? If this was in that article? Okay, continue. I feel like we're missing something there. Go back. Go back to the one about banks. Go back one more. Huh, I feel like we're missing something there. Anyways, take a look at the article. Go back to the headline of that article. So that's by Brian Sawzy, and that's on Yahoo Finance. So take a look at the article. There's a whole bunch of like good plays for inflation that you can do in that one. Now we can go to the next article. Crypto mining for inflation, yes, that's a good one. Coinbase publishes proposal for crypto regulation, pushing 4 core recommendations. Let's take a look at them. Coinbase proposal for crypto regulation. So Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong tweeted, "Today we're launching our digital asset policy proposal, which we hope will help chart a course for clear regulation of cryptocurrency and Web 3.0 in the US. It's critical to bring clarity to this space to ensure America remains a financial leader." This is not about Coinbase. We completed more than 75 meetings with stakeholders in government, industry, and academia to help shape this proposal, and we feel it represents a consensus point of view. It's inclusive and democratic by design. Coinbase recently experienced firsthand the lack of regulation clarity when it tried to launch a lending program. The company met with U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to discuss the product. However, the SEC said it was a security and threatened to sue the company if it went ahead with the program. Coinbase subsequently abandoned its plan to launch the Lend product and unveiled its plan to create a proposal for crypto regulation. Continue. I think the biggest problem they had with this is that if you lend your money to other people on Coinbase, if you lend your cryptocurrency, you're acting as the bank. So there's no more need for banks. So I'm pretty sure there were some political donations made that killed this. So firstly, what do we need here? Firstly, we need a new and digital native framework for how we regulate digital assets, one that doesn't encumber innovation, inclusion, and financial empowerment for all sectors of society. Secondly, Coinbase Chief Policy Officer detailed end-to-end crypto services must sit within a single regulator. Its authority would include a new registration process established for marketplace for digital assets. So what they're talking about is that they want to have a crypto regulator. So like we have the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, the CFTC, a whole bunch of different regulatory institutions. They want a new one created just for cryptocurrency. Continue. In addition, Coinbase suggested instilling consumer confidence by providing robust customer protection. This can be achieved through enhanced transparency processes, including tailored disclosures to inform purchases of digital assets. The fourth point is to promote interoperability and fair competition. Coinbase believes that to realize the full potential of digital assets, MDAs must be interoperable with products and services across the crypto economy. This can empower and protect a thriving consumer and develop ecosystem. Coinbase said that anyone wanting to comment on its crypto regulatory proposal can do so on GitHub. So Coinbase taking the lead there, which is good because the lawmakers obviously aren't doing anything. Continue. Last one. Sounds good. The holding billionaires accountable lie. Media and big tech fact checkers mischaracterize angst towards Biden tax proposal. Let's see it. We're still on this $600 tax thing. In May, it was reported that Biden's IRS planned to add more staff and focus on cryptocurrency exchange. The accounts stemmed from a Treasury Department report, and the department's officials projected that during the next decade, it could net $700 billion from tax offenders. The following decade later, the Treasury expects if you just keep holding, then you never have to pay taxes. The following decade later, the Treasury expects the plan to net $1.6 trillion, and the federal entity believes those estimates are conservative. At the time of writing, the tax proposal, dubbed the American Families Plan Tax Compliance Agenda, is still being debated. There's a lot of confusion surrounding this proposal, and if users post about it on Facebook, usually a fact checker is assigned to the post that says lawmakers are mischaracterizing that rule. Twitter's newsfeed says the exact same thing, as it claims skeptics are conflating the definitions of the proposal in an attempt to say the IRS can view. I don't understand when Facebook and Twitter, stay out of it. None of your business. In an attempt to say the IRS can view all transactions over 600. Continue. Most of the money, $460 billion, would come from the second big piece. That plan increases the government's ability to see into a current blind spot, business income where there's no independent verification to the IRS, as there is for wages, where W-2 forms go to workers, and the government, banks, and payment providers will be required to report inflows and outflows from accounts each year starting in 2023. Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, has been urging lawmakers to agree on the IRS proposal. There's a lot of tax fraud and cheating that's going on, Yellen explained to CBS reporter Nora O'Donnell. Furthermore, everyone will be grounded if they don't stop cheating and doing tax fraud. Yellen noted that the new requirement for financial institutions is absolutely not a way for the government to poke around into the financial affairs of average Americans. And I don't believe that. Continue. Liberty activist asks, why is the IRS allowed to see any of my bank transactions without a warrant? Yellen and Biden have continuously stressed that the goal is to have America's billionaire tax class accountable. Meanwhile, there's a number of loud and vocal voices explaining that the proposal is intrusive. Whether it's $600 or $10,000, the IRS has no business monitoring your bank account. Senator Mike O'Reilly tweeted on October 15th, for real though, it doesn't matter if it's $600 or $60,000. Why is the IRS allowed to see any of my bank transactions without a warrant? Liberty activist Naomi Matthews said the day before. Another Twitter profile exclaimed, we should be completely flipping the script on this opportunity. Not only should the IRS not be able to look into $600 transactions, they need to be completely banned from looking at any transaction without a subpoena. They serve us, we don't serve them. I want to look into every single transaction that the IRS does over $600. Continue. The co-host of the broadcast, Breaking Points, said that the IRS is 3 times more likely to audit someone making less than $25,000 than someone in the top percent. Interesting. The $600 proposal would only give them even more ammunition to go after working class Americans. Hold billionaires accountable. Meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi explained that Democratic lawmakers plan to support Biden's tax proposal. The new tax enforcement concept will be included in the reconciliation bill. Yes, there are concerns that some people have, but if people are breaking the law and not paying their taxes, one way to track them is through the banking measure. It's not about whether or not you're breaking the law. This is about them snooping around in your bank account. They don't need to know how much money I spend on steak. They don't need to know how much money I spend on Chick-fil-A, which is a lot every single year. Continue. A political communist from the Hill, Joe Concha, told his 113,000 Twitter followers that the hold billionaires accountable line Yellen and others are saying will win the lie of the year. Meanwhile, there are many who simply scorn the government for the new proposal as the financial rules are consistently broken by the elite. So this is going to affect the middle class. This is going to affect low-income earners more because they can't afford accountants, or they can't afford the accountants, they can't afford the lawyers that the billionaires can. So billionaires will end up paying nothing, even if they are audited. And this is going to be carried on the backs of the middle class and low-income earners. That's why I bring this up so much, because this upsets me. Continue. That's it. Let's go into some stocks that I researched. Some stonks. So there was a couple that you all asked me to look into. First off, JEF, Jefferies Financial Group. JEF, a globally diversified holding company. JEF offers investment banking and capital markets, merchant banking, and direct investment and asset management services. Compared to most companies in the industry, this stock is trading at a discount. Price to book is right around book value, and price to earnings is 10x below the industry average. One of the biggest reasons for this is that the company is very highly leveraged. It has a lot of debt, but it should be able to pay it back no problem. Still doesn't look good on paper. Revenue growth is lagging. EPS growth is far behind the investment banking average. That being said, company has potential and room to grow if they take advantage of the current opportunities that are in the market. They just have a nice earnings beat for Q3 on September 30th. It has had consistent earnings beats over the last couple quarters. With banks doing fairly well this year, this stock will benefit from the overall well-being of the financial sector. I would invest in this, but that's because my allocation is already full for financial stocks. So this is not one that is on my list. Still, I think that it has some room to grow with the overall financial market. That's JEF, Jefferies Financial Group. Elon Coin is another one that I was supposed to take a look at. So I took a look at it. Seems a little scammy, like SafeMoon. I personally would stay away from it. But they do have some great artwork, great pixelated images of Elon Musk that they should sell it as NFTs and make some more money like that. But I didn't. I took a look at it and I didn't like Elon Coin. So whoever liked Elon Coin, sorry about that. They not something that I'm going to invest in. As ZNOG is another one that I took a look at. ZNOG, Zion Oil and Gas. This looks like a promising project. They're still in the exploration stage at this point. So what this is it's a company that received the license from the government of Israel to explore for oil in the Megiddo Desert region. And they're currently drilling and exploring for oil. They are trading at under $1. Let me see where they're trading at today. They're trading at 13 cents. The last update from August said that they had ongoing operational hassles due to the lockdowns in Israel, but they've started drilling again. Could be interesting if they find oil. It's worth keeping tabs on. At this point, I would not invest in the company personally, but you can check out their website, Zion Oil and Gas. Just type that into Google, Zion Oil and Gas. Check out their website, see if this is a company you'd like to invest in. They have made it easy to invest. You don't just have to invest through your broker. You can actually do direct investment with them. So they've made it easy. through their website, you can do direct investments with this company. So if that's one that you're interested in, Zion Oil and Gas, ZNOG is the ticker symbol for that one. And there's another one that I took a look at this morning, AGRX. I saw that this was, it's up 13% right now. But there's a ton of volume on this stock, so you might be able to trade the swings on it today. This is one that I'm going to be keeping tabs on today to see if there's a good entry point, see if there's if I can trade these swings, maybe make 1 or 2% off of it. So that's AGRX, Agile Therapeutics. Its average 10-day trading volumes around 3.8 million. It's at 6.1 million right now. Reason being, it's trading at 86 cents. It's up 13% today. The reason why is because one of their executives bought 8.42 million shares of this stock. So there's some huge insider trading going on. So it's trading on the news. That's one that you can take a look at. It's a women's healthcare company that researches, develops, and commercializes prescription contraceptives products in the US. It has a once weekly contraceptive patch. Doesn't have very good fundamentals, but this might be a good day trading candidate. So that's what I'm taking a look at today. So we had Jeffries, JEF, ZNOG, and AGRX. I'll have some more for you tomorrow. I might actually have another cryptocurrency for you tomorrow. That is launching today, so I'm going to look into that some more and see if I can give you some more information on that. If you would like to donate today and partner with us here at Revival Today and everything that we do, spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, and across this country, we're going to be having a live broadcast this week, or a broadcast this week on national television. We're building a church, so it's good ground that you can sow into. And if you do that today for any amount, then what I will do is I will send you Check the Market mug. We got some new ones in, so we're going to be sending those out right there.
We need more of that.
I think
Let
every
them feel it
household in
today.
America. What price would you get in at AGRX? I'm going to take a look and see on the chart, see how it's trading on RSI, see how it's trading on, on volume, and I'll make my decision based on that. I'm not too sure of that. That's one I'm going to keep an eye on today. See if right now it's down to 11%, so it looks like it's dipping back down a little bit, Sandra, but This is probably just going to be a day trade for me. So I'm going to keep an eye on it and see if there's any movement, and then I'll make my decision at that point. So that's the mug that we'll be giving away for a donation of any size today. And you can do so by going to hashtag donate on Facebook and then the amount, hashtag donate and the amount. You can text RT to 50155. Cash App, $RTGive, Venmo at RTGive, revivaltoday.com/PayPal if you'd like to donate by PayPal. We also accept cryptocurrencies. You can scan the QR code that you're going to see on your screen. And if there's any cryptocurrencies, even Elon coin, that you would like to donate, that doesn't work through the QR code, you'll give us a call at 412-446-2332, or you can send us an email at info@revivaltoday.com. You can also send us a check, Revival Today, P.O. Box 7, Prosperity, Pennsylvania, 15329. And then claim your offer, revivaltoday.com/offer. Yes, Cami. Stocks tend to drop mid-afternoon, late morning. I think it's right around lunchtime. They usually drop down a little bit. That's what I've seen from a lot of stocks that I follow. Usually take a little bit of a break at that point, and then it's fairly flat a lot of times throughout the afternoon, and then right before closing, between 3 and 4, there's another spike in volatility and there's more movement in the stock. That's what I found in my experience. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for tuning in today. Thanks for watching Check the Market. Make sure you share the broadcast with all your friends, your entire village, town, city. And I will see you again tomorrow at 9:20 a.m. Go out there, make some money today. Let's take a look at the markets real quick. Markets are down on the Dow Jones. The only one that's up is the NASDAQ. S&P and NASDAQ fairly flat. Dow is down. Huge week of earnings this week, so we'll keep our eye on that. I will see you all tomorrow. Go out there, make some money today. And yeah, have a great day. See ya.